progress. Okay.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. I'll call our regular city council meeting for Monday, August 21st, 2023 to order. Pastor Shannon Green from First United Methodist Church will open us in prayer this evening.
Thank you. Will you bow your heads with me? Loving God, we thank you for the opportunity to live and work in this great city of Excelsior Springs. We are so grateful for our city's leaders, elected officials, council members, and every person in this room that contributes to the well-being and flourishing of our community. Direct and empower them as they plan and make decisions and care for the people of Excelsior Springs. Lord, this week we especially lift up the members of our community who are headed back to school. We remember the teachers, educators, counselors, principals, and all staff members of our local schools. Strengthen them as they create safe spaces of learning for all of our students. Help them get back into their regular rhythms and routines and guide them as they lead and teach others. We also lift up to you our students. Give them courage and protect them as they walk in the school halls, ride buses, sit in classrooms, and increase in learning and knowledge. And finally, Lord God, we ask that you would help us to love one another as you have first loved us. May we work together as leaders to resist oppression and injustice in whatever forms they present themselves. Help us to be bold in our community so that we can make Excelsior Springs look a little bit more like your kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. And we ask this all in your name. Amen.
Amen. Let's pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you so much.
Shannon, can we have the roll call for city council members?
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. And now we'll recognize our visitors. Is anyone in the audience who would like to address the council with anything that is not on the agenda? All right, seeing none, we will begin by approving the minutes of the budget work session of August 4th, 2023. I will entertain a motion and a second to approve.
Move to approve the minutes of the budget work session of August 4th, 2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Roll call, Shannon?
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. And now I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve minutes of the regular city council meeting of August 7th, 2023.
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of August 7th, 2023.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes.
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. And now we will, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the consideration of agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John?
Yes.
Councilman Rennie?
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear?
Yes.
Mayor Spawn?
Yes. Our first item on the agenda tonight is consideration of bunker gear purchase for the fire department, resolution number 1461, and Chief Joe Maddock will present to the council.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Fire Department's requesting approval to purchase 18 sets of bunker gear, which will give all of our line personnel 2 sets of bunker gear. The bunker gear is Globe XL. The purchase is through Banner Fire Equipment. The total's for $48,096. We wrote the specs. We sent out bids to all the manufacturers. I think 4 of the manufacturers got thrown out because they didn't meet our specifications. Banner Fire Equipment was the second cheapest. The cheapest gear is currently gear that we currently have, and it's just not very comfortable to wear. This gear was $4,000 more. It's a little bit more comfortable for the personnel to wear, and I I honestly think it's worth the $4,000 to spend to make them a little bit more comfortable than they currently are. The money is through the Department of Public Safety. They had a grant process for a total of $40,000. It's a 50-50 match. Obviously, this is more than $40,000. We received 2 grants from the Department of Public Safety, one for fire, one for EMS, and we'll take the remaining balance from the allocated money that from our 50% of the EMS grant to add the extra to this grant. I'd be glad to answer any questions. I think you have a bid sheet and then the competitive bids from all the vendors.
Any other questions? Okay. A resolution approving the purchase of firefighter personnel protective equipment in the amount of $48,096 from Banner Fire Equipment. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve.
I move we approve resolution number 1461, consideration of bunker gear purchase for the fire department.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Swan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion approved. Thank you, Chief. Next item on the agenda is consideration of Taser 10 purchase agreement, resolution number 1462. Our police chief, Gregory Dole, will present to the council.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. This item is consideration of a purchase agreement with Axon Enterprises, Inc., the manufacturer of the Taser CEW. The Taser is our officers' primary less lethal force option. Officers are currently issued the model X26P, which is reaching its recommended 5-year life in December of this year. And it's also using cartridge technology that's approaching 25 years old. The Taser 10 is the newest model of Taser, and it's a significant upgrade in terms of effective range and the effectiveness rate of the Taser. The proposed purchase agreement is for a 5-year period and includes 12 Tasers, battery packs, holsters, duty cartridge replacement, training cartridges, and product-specific instructor training courses. If paid in annual installments, the total cost of the agreement would be $75,000 or $15,000 per year. However, we were able to negotiate an agreement that would save us $6,811.20 over the term of the agreement if the entire amount is paid up front. The total cost of the 5-year agreement for the Taser 10 would be $67,332.44. The proposed purchase would be made utilizing monies from the Public Safety Sales Tax Fund. The Oversight Committee has already approved this project as being consistent with usage of those monies. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I just have a comment. I appreciate you all negotiating to save us some money on that, but paying it all up front.
Yeah.
All right. A resolution approving the purchase of Taser energy weapons for the police department and waiving the bidding procedures for this purchase. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve.
I move we approve resolution number 1462, consideration of Taser 10 purchase agreement.
Second.
First and a second. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Swan.
Yes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is consideration of Era Fire purchase for the golf course, resolution number 1463. I believe our city manager, Molly McGovern, is going to speak to us on this item.
The golf course was recently presented with an opportunity to purchase a used air fryer at a substantial discount. It's coming from the course our groundskeeper came from, and they made him aware of it, and he brought it to Orion to consider whether to ask for this or not. It allows them to continue maintaining the greens and lets them retire an older piece of equipment. They are being offered the machine at $20,000. On the market, it would go more like $35,000. They also believe that their July provided them with the opportunity to save enough money to buy it, and they agreed to balance their budget as a result of us making this purchase. So it would come from the golf course budget.
Thank you, Molly. Any questions? A resolution approving the purchase of used Toro 648 Procore aerator in an amount not to exceed $20,000 and waiving the bidding procedures for this purchase. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve.
Move to approve resolution number 1463, consideration of air fire purchase for the golf course.
I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is consideration of accepting warranty deed from 3M Property Reserve LLC, resolution number 1464, and Nate Williams, our Director of Parks, Rec, and Community Center, will address the council with this agenda item.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. So this is, I guess, kind of our last step to take over a piece of property the McElwee family currently owns just right down the street next to the old Siloam Springs Church. In order for the Parks Division to install playground equipment donated from Lewis Elementary, we need to own the property first. So the McElwee family has done all of the necessary work to be ready to donate to us, and so we're just here tonight to ask for council's approval on that.
Any other questions? That's exciting. That's one of my grandson's favorite parks.
Yeah, well, it's going
Since
to be
he
even
was a
better
little
than what it
bitty guy.
used to be, right?
Right. Okay. A resolution accepting a warranty deed from 3M Property Reserve LLC. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve.
I move we approve resolution number 1464, consideration of accepting warranty deed from 3M Property Reserve LLC.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Next item on the agenda is consideration of acceptance of right-of-way dedication ordinance number 23-08-02, and Melinda Mahaffey, our Economic Development Director, will address the council with this agenda item.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. You have before you this evening from Community Development the request for an acceptance of right-of-way dedication at 101 Crown Hill. 101 Crown Hill was recently purchased, and in that purchase we've been working with the property owner on a project, and they are wanting to address and clean up their property lines at that address, and in doing so it would allow us to straighten out our right-of-way there and allow for better access. And so this evening we come before you to ask for an acceptance of this right-of-way dedication. Any questions?
Hearing no questions, we'll enter into, this is an ordinance, will require first and second reading. First reading reads as such: an ordinance accepting a dedication of real estate for public right-of-way from Star Development Corporation at 101 Crown Hill Road. I'll entertain a motion and a second to take this ordinance to second reading.
Move to take ordinance number 23, tag 08, tag 02, consideration of acceptance of right-of-way dedication to a second reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn.
Yes. An ordinance accepting a dedication of real estate for public right-of-way from Star Development Corporation at 101 Crown Hill Road. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve this ordinance.
I move we approve ordinance number 23-08-02, consideration of acceptance of right-of-way dedication.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, Shannon?
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. The next item on the agenda is consideration of amendment to the purchasing policy ordinance number 23-0803. Our city manager, Molly McGovern, will address the council with this item.
The proposed changes to the purchasing policy have to do with the number of purchases that are made for budgeted items that are replaced before council approval due to availability and need to keep the facilities in operation. And this mostly occurs with pumps and motors that fail and we need to have them replaced. And so that's our most frequent purchase of this kind. The language in the ordinance is intended to ease the requirements to obtain 3 price quotes for micro purchases, keeps the expectation to obtain the lowest price and best value possible still intact. A micro purchase is anything under $15,000. The policy would require written proposals for expenditures over 15, which is currently any purchase over $3,500. And reasonable effort will continue to be made to obtain at least 3 proposals. It would increase the city manager's approval limit from 15 to 50,000.
Any further questions or comments? This is an ordinance and will require 2 readings. So the first reading reads as such: an ordinance amending the city code related to the purchasing policy. I'll entertain a motion and a second to take ordinance number 23-08-03 to second reading.
I move that we take ordinance number 23-08-03, consideration of amendment to the purchase policy, to second reading.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn.
Yes. An ordinance amending the city code related to the purchasing policy. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 23-08-03.
I move that we approve ordinance number 23-08-03, consideration of amendment to the purchasing policy.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, Shannon?
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn.
Yes. Motion approved. Number 7 on the agenda is consideration of terminating the telephone tax upon approval of subscriber fee implementation, ordinance number 23-08-04. And again, our city manager, Molly McGovern, will address the council with this agenda item.
Okay. The Excelsior Springs started using 9/11 in 1983, but was excluded from the county's efforts to operate a 911 system because Excelsior Springs was outside the Metropolitan Calling Exchange. It was simply a long-distance call to Liberty. We paid for the 911 service without a fee until '98, and it appears the county did assist us with some of our initial expenses. Attached, the museum provided some research on this, as many of us had forgotten some of the details. The current statute that we are operating under imposes a fee on landline phone bills. This tax was sufficient enough to pay our cost of our PSAP that is provided by Mark, and initially a dispatcher's position. But over the years, this amount continued to decline as cell phones grew in popularity. In the last several years, the revenue has not been sufficient to pay for our cost of the equipment, and the general fund has started to subsidize the cost. The county pays for 911 for all of the Clay County entities except for Excelsior Springs, and it's now also required to subsidize about a third of their cost. Clay County is discussing whether to ask voters to approve a device fee in November to replace the landline tax. And for that reason, I ask the council to consider approval of an ordinance to terminate our local 911 tax at such time the voters approve a device fee.
Well, it may be short-lived. It'll probably be a pretty popular thing to put a tax to death this evening. All right, this is an ordinance and will require 2 readings. So we'll begin with the first reading. An ordinance terminating the city's telephone tax. I'll consider a motion and a second to take this ordinance to second reading.
Move to take ordinance 23, tax 08, tax 04, consideration terminating telephone tax upon approval of subscriber fee implementation to a second reading.
Second.
Roll call, Shannon?
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. An ordinance terminating the city's telephone tax. I will entertain a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 23-08-04.
I move we approve ordinance number 23-08-04, consideration of terminating telephone tax upon approval of subscriber fee implementation.
Second.
Any further discussion? Let me pull this back up there. I filed it away too quick. An ordinance terminating the city's telephone tax. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 23-08-04. Did I just do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My mind is somewhere else right now.
we
No
just need
worries
roll
at all.
call.
We need to roll call, yeah.
Yes. Shannon, we need the roll call.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yes.
Councilman Rennie,
Yes.
Councilman St. John,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear,
Yes.
Mayor Spawn,
Yes. Motion approved. And now we have the July financials for review for the council. And Vonda Floyd, our finance director, will present this to the council.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Within your council packets was detail of appropriations and revenues for the month of July 2023. And the appropriations are in accordance with the city's purchasing policy as it's currently written. And those appropriations are as follows. Appropriations on July the 6th of $250,674.41. Appropriations on July the 13th of $370,859.99. Appropriations on July the 20th of $159,057.38. And appropriations on July the 27th of $1,911.44. And 2 payrolls, July the 14th of $373,118.91, and payroll on July the 31st of $398,844.51, for total appropriations for your review of $2,553,466.64. And in addition, on your packet is a revenue report. It's 39 pages long. It was detailed, so I'm just going to read the total of that revenue for the month of July. We received $3,173,029.29 in revenue. Any questions?
Did anyone comb through those 39 pages?
What are you looking at me for?
I know you did.
And anytime, if you'd like to sit down and discuss, I would be glad to schedule that. We can do
Okay.
it.
Thank you, Vonda. This
You're
is
welcome.
for review only, does not need a vote. So we will entertain remarks from our city manager.
It is that time of year to declare board vacancies to be filled, and I know the mayor has been busily working on those board appointments. And those will be brought to the council at the end of September. So we hope to have good luck with filling the boards.
Remarks from City Council. We'll begin with Councilwoman Morgan.
Nothing this evening.
Councilman Reddy.
I have no.
Councilman St. John.
I don't know if everybody's aware of it, but worldatlas.com, Excelsior Springs was listed as one of the 9 small towns in Missouri that were ranked among the U.S. favorites. Which,
Oh, we need to know more
Nice.
about that, so
Yeah,
report
so-
on it.
Fun facts to know and tell. Yeah.
It was towns like St. Genevieve and Weston and Kimberly City were all on that list, and there's several more. There was 9 of them. And I thought, well, that's a reflection on the folks in this room and the Chamber of Commerce and the Downtown Excelsior Partnership all working together, and people are starting to notice.
Absolutely.
Very
Thank you for
nice.
that. That's exciting. Put a pin in that.
You bet.
Yes, noteworthy for sure.
Mayor Pro Tem Spear.
Nothing this evening.
I have no further comments, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move
So-
we adjourn.
Second? Do I need a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned.